have a lived experience that your children ought to be able to benefit from, but they can't if they don't know about it. And the only way they know about it is if you spend time with them, talking with them. And so, an absentee parent, for whatever reason, means that you have a child just sort of navigating life by themselves. And the overarching message is, I don't matter. How to make your home a haven. If you can create that environment, you would do well by everybody in the house, but especially by the children who are developing there, setting them up to have a really good foundation for how they can go into the world and have successful relationships, maintain jobs, and just have a sense of well being where they can rebound, recover from the situations that they're going to experience in life because they've been held down, they've been loved well by the people in their homes. Are we coming into the house with our phone in our face and we just walk through the house and we drop our stuff and we sit down and we continue to look at our phone, but we have not looked at anyone or parted our lips to anyone in the house, much less notice if they seem like they've had a good day, and then for you to ask, hey, you look like you haven't had a good day. What's going on? Do we care? You can go from the people being disinterested in each other to a home where there's actually neglect, where there's actually children coming home to an empty house. They are just supposed to just govern themselves and keep themselves out of trouble and, yeah, do your homework if anybody even expects you to do your homework. If anybody even cares about that, parents are showing up when they want to. And in worst case scenarios, maybe parents are inebriated or parents are doing drugs, or maybe more commonly, parents are working a lot of hours. And so you're a latchkey kid. I mean, I remember I was a latchkey kid. But if it's a home environment where it's like, I'll get to you when I get to you, and I'll bring you some food when I feel like it, then what is that child supposed to think? So without those types of parameters or pillars in your family environment, in your family setup, you are increasing the risk of mood disorders. And so we have a increase in depression and anxiety in children, much less teens, but even in children. Hey, Mama Bears, I'm hosting a live here on YouTube for any of you who have questions about motherhood or how to help your family function better. You can scan the QR code or click the link below to join me. Any other information you need is on the screen, and I look forward to seeing you there. And that constant stress, there's the stress of actual negativity in the home, and then there's the stress of being ignored. Both of those are stress. But you also, as a child, feel afraid that nobody actually cares, that you could move how you want to move in this house or leave the house and go do other things, and nobody would know because nobody cares to know because nobody's checking. But when this is what all children are left to, it is no wonder they are depressed and anxious. They're anxious because they feel alone, ultimately. I'll be sitting there and you're like, but Vanessa, I do love my child. I love them very much. And I can't understand why they would think. They would think that because even though you are saying it, what you are doing or not doing consistently is saying something else. You have a lived experience that your children ought to be able to benefit from, but they can't if they don't know about it. And the only way they know about it is if you spend time with them, talking with them. And so, an absentee parent, for whatever reason, means that you have a child just sort of navigating life by themselves. And the overarching message is, I don't matter. I don't matter. It doesn't matter what you say to them when you are around, how many times you tell them you love them. When your attitudes and actions reflect something different and they do it regularly, the message is that they don't matter. And so we are seeing an increase in the amount of mood disorders, anxiety, depression. And yes, a lot of that has to do with, studies have shown a lot of that has had to do with time on social media. But why are they spending so much time on social media? Because that is the engagement that they have. They're not engaging with people in real life, even in their home. They have been left to engage with people on a device. And where we think that means that people are connecting, it actually means people are more disconnected. Connecting on a device isn't the same as connecting in person. And so that's why there's the benefit of things like dinners around the table and no devices when you're at dinner, because it forces everyone to use the muscles that have become weak of conversation, looking people in the eye, experiencing the vibe in the room and sensing how people are feeling and responding to that. You should also be thinking about what is the environment like at home? What is the vibe that we have here? Is the reason they feel like they can't tell me is because I'm not really around, or when I am around, I too am distracted. And so they feel like they are imposing. They feel like they're being a burden. And again, they're feeling like what they have to say doesn't matter because what they have to say, nobody's making room for it. And just make room for them to share what they have to say. And it's not even about always solving it unless you are part of the problem. Then that does need to be solved, or unless there's something in the home that is going on that you do need to address. But it is the ability to get things out. Getting things out is very therapeutic because if you don't know how to interact positively with the people in your home who are related to you by blood or at least by marriage and say they love you, if you all are not able to interact in positive, supportive ways, where does a child learn to do that? Your home is their first community. It's the first community they're a part of. Before they join a team, before they go to school, before they join a club, they are part of your family. And these people there are the ones that they're supposed to be able to get along with the best because these are the people who are most invested in them. If they don't have that, they take that attitude and that sentiment out of the house into all the other environments they go to, and they approach people from this attitude of nobody cares about me. Some of these kids end up in relationships where they're doing all the giving because they just want somebody. They're like, how much can I give so that this person I'm in friendship with will give me something in return because they're so hungry for somebody to care about them. Or it's the opposite, where they're antisocial in their behavior because they have such pent up hostility over the fact that nobody cares about them. And so, like I said, they don't care about anybody else. You find community, it's with other people who don't know how to function and who are self medicating in order to be able to cope. Again, there are levels. You have a child who you're calling hyperactive, but really they just feel uncared for. And they know that the only time you'll show up and show any interest is when they do something wrong. But that can escalate as they're more mobile and have access to more things and more people. It can escalate to other behaviors and other coping mechanisms that are downright unhealthy. And do some children have a chemical imbalance that needs medication? Sure. But if the issue can be solved by the way your family is functioning, where everybody in the family who now knows better does better, those who need to get help. Because let me tell you, what I'm saying to you, assuming that you have bandwidth, that whatever things that you have been through or whatever things that you have not received as a child, that you have gone and gotten those things or are getting those things so that you, like I talked about a while ago with the social mechanics, you have enough bandwidth to even care about what I'm saying regarding what your child might be going through. If you haven't had somebody to listen to you, somebody for you to share what you have been through with, and if you think that will benefit you, get a counselor. Go get some therapy. I've had my time in therapy, but long before that, like I said, I was a journaler and I journaled all through therapy and I continue to journal. And until next time, I want you to remember that when it comes to you being the mother of your children, you are the woman for the job. And I want you to keep showing up. You are necessary. You matter and your children matter. Okay, take care.